everybody, welcome. Today we're gonna do some pipe cleaner projects. I'm gonna make some flowers. As you'll notice, I don't have green. That's just because I'm gonna make the heads of the flowers, um, and not the actual stems, which may make certain parts of it more difficult, but we'll see when we get there. I'm also gonna talk about SMART goals. So SMART is an acronym. It stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. Some of those are pretty easy to figure out what they mean. But I'd like to go into each one of them specifically. So, specific. That would make sense. What specifically do you want to accomplish with your goal? What is it that you are trying to do? So it can't be anything broad like, well, I want to work out more. Okay. That's not specific enough. It's really close to being specific. But to make it specific, you'd be like, I want to go to the gym more. That makes it more specific. And we'll get to how to make it an even better goal when we move to talking about this next thing, which is measurable. So now once you've figured out kind of what you want to do, then you move into, okay, importantly, can this be measured? If it can't be measured, it's not a good SMART goal. When it comes to measurability, think of how much, how well do you want to do it? So if it's an assignment, I want to get a 90% on this assignment, then you can totally go ahead and do that. If it's I want to go to the gym, you'd say I want to go to the gym X many times. That's what measurable is. It's how many times or how much of a thing is it that you're doing. The next part of SMART is the A, which is achievable. This is pretty much as it says. Is it possible? Can you do it? If you cannot do it, don't make it a goal. That seems pretty self-explanatory there, but don't set yourself up for failure. So we've gone through specific, measurable, achievable, relevant. This one might seem a bit confusing and can be for many reasons. So relevant, this is for your broader goals, essentially. Likely you have a broader goal that you're working on, right? So if your broader goal is, I'd like to be healthier, that's a broad goal. It's an unspecific goal. You specify it down to say, I want to eat healthier. You move on to measurable. I'd like to eat more, I'd like to eat X grams of protein per week. That's a way you can make your goal. So that's kind of how you make that relevant, is you compare it to the broader goals of your life and you go, does this make sense? Does it make sense for me to be aiming for this goal in the context of my life? Then time bound. A little bit here while talking about it, I've made a couple references to times. So this is going to be this is part of measurability as well, of that how much are you doing it. It's basically like, what's the deadline for your goal? Is it by the end of the month, by the end of the year, by the end of the week? So now that we've done a little bit about like talking about what each segment of SMART goals is, we got to talk a little bit about what, like, give examples of what a good SMART goal is. For example, by the end of this video, I would like to have finished at least 1 rose. Like, it's SMART goals are not, they don't need to be big and scary. They can be as easy as as what I just mentioned. And it makes it a lot better for, like, a lot easier for achieving those goals, because you know, now you have a time frame, you know exactly how much you want to do, you know when you want to do it by, you know specifically what you want to do. It makes like all of that stuff much easier in the grand scheme of things. When you think about the terms of your goals, definitely keep SMART goals in mind. Not everything you have to do has to be a SMART goal, but I definitely would recommend, when you're making goals, to think about if they're specific, if they're relevant, what the time frame is, you know, is it a measurable thing you can do? Because it's really easy to get into the mindset of, oh, I wanted to do this, but I didn't, like, I wasn't able to do it. Therefore, like, it's easy to get in the mindset that you're not achieving your goals, when really it's like your goals weren't specific enough. Your goals didn't have measurability in them, so it makes it impossible for you to complete your goals, like, accurately, because there's no way you could have done it, you know? You don't just get healthier, you either eat healthier, or maybe you work out more, or even start working out at all. Those are all measurable things that you can keep track of. Whereas simply stating that you want to be healthier may not get the best results. As always, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Keep on keeping on. My name is Lily, signing off.